Hello YouTube, it's Ebon Kim again. Today I'm going to focus on agendas. Um, I probably behave pretty roughshod sometimes, a lot of replies, I'll call people ignorant, I'll say curse words, yell in capital letters. That's just me. I'm sorry. That doesn't mean I don't like you as a person if I know you. If I don't know you, well, that's another story. Um, you're an adult now. I'm not gonna hold your hand and teach you and give you incentives like when I'm teaching my 3-year-old daughter. Okay, you're an adult. You can handle people who yell at you or talk very loudly. Um, because sometimes it has to happen to get a point across. I can still talk, um, but if you're refusing to listen to my points and I tell you my points and you still want to like strap into your feelings and beliefs, I can't. Uh, I'm gonna stop arguing because there's no point into it. Um, anyways, let's move on. So what I want to focus on are agendas, and I'm doing a little bit something different rather than image. I just kind of write it up. I might write it up as I go along. I might edit it. So my agenda. So why am I doing this? I told you in maybe two separate videos why I'm doing this. It's my duty. I'm focusing on it. But it's to give you education and provide strategy. It's free. Everything is free. I'm not charging you. I'm not putting ads out there. The only time you'll see an ad on my videos if I use copyrighted material. Uh, I think YouTube just has it so that um, whatever advertisement that's gotten from me providing copyrighted material, that the person I'm copywriting from gets revenue from the advertisement. But you won't see anything of mine being advertised. I don't have AdSense enabled. I mean, I'm not gonna make anything with my like 3 views. Um, and you can see right here, I don't really have any revenue. Of course, even if I did have ads, I wouldn't get enough revenue to even matter. Um, but it's no one's paying me to do any of this. I'm spending my own time to do research to share with you, so you can do it yourself. All right, do it yourself. Everything is free. All my videos have descriptions to the sources to the actual policies, and I can go over a couple of things with you with the browser as usual. He says, "Look, I got no sellouts. Tim Black, he's independent. He's not part of a corporate media. I've got a pimple right here. You can see my pimple. Yeah, I'm broadcasting myself with a big pimple in your face. I don't care. I'm here about educating anyone who wants to smarten up. I'm not gonna dumb things down for you. I might try to simplify a few things, but I always want you to read it because it's the details are everything. Okay, so let's move on to other agendas, right? Politicians, what's their agenda? Some of it could be money, some of it could be power, some of it may be good. Um, but in the end, it's power to make laws, power to create legislation for taxes and where the tax allocations go to certain budgets. Um, it's essentially we give people power to enact laws for us that the population has to abide by. That's our democratic republic. Now, you got banks. That's easy. They make money. They provide money. They make money off of loans. Corporations, while they can provide products and services, the end result is money. They need money to stay in business. Once a corporation runs out of money, they're out of business, right? So it's all about money. Money is life and death. I mean, for a lot of you, money is probably life and death too. News media, it's still money because they're corporations, most of them. There's some media that are not. I'm one of them. Tim Black's one of them. Uh, H.A. Goodman's one of them. They probably make some money off of it, not a lot. You've got this list right here. That's as close as you can get to some independent media that's not largely influenced by money. Give them a look if you have it. Where am I? All right. Advertising. Before the internet, a lot of the media was driven by TV and newspapers. And advertisements made money off of magazines. That was the clickbait of pre-internet era. They made money in newspapers. They made money in television commercials. Now it's expanded. And you can see there's a video. I wish I could provide it. Actually, I will later. You can see it. It's one by Denzel Washington. I really like that one. So I'm going to talk a little bit and show you what I mean by corporate news media are driven by money, and they're driven by they use a narrative to drive the information that they provide. So let's go to this. Yes. All right. So this is the executive order. I'm not going to go over the executive order. I just want to show you the executive order, the date, when it started. The entire Muslim ban thing, right? It's not a Muslim ban. It's January 27th, 2017. This is that executive order that does not mention Muslim, does not mention ban, does not mention Christian, does not mention Jews, does not mention any of the states except for Syria. Read it if you haven't. But okay, January 27th. So I'm gonna go to a news aggregator, and I just like using Google. It's just what I've always used. I probably should be using something else, but who cares? This is just an example. Now, it's based off of region. If you're not signed in and you don't give your approximate zip code, you can see here weather for Somerville, Massachusetts. That's where I live. You want to come and kill me or something? Whatever, try. I'm in Somerville. Look for me. All right. So it gives you a whole bunch of stories. We're not going to focus on that. What we're going to focus on is using the search and the tools provided. So Muslim ban. Now I put quotes around it because it strings the two words together. So rather than if I didn't have the quotes, it would search for Muslim, any article that contains Muslim, or any article that also contains ban. So we don't want to search for all that. We want to search for a specific term, Muslim ban. Two words that corporate media has been driving into our faces. And here we go. Here's the list, and a lot of it's recent. But we know that January 27th was when the actual executive order started, right? So click on tools, click on you get all news, recent, sort by relevance, but you can these are filters. So I'm gonna filter the recent to a custom range. Since we know that the bill was enacted on 27th, let's just see what happened 3 days before that executive order. Let's see what the corporate media's narrative was. All right, you get first headline, sorted by relevance. Trump preps Muslim ban. Yahoo News. Kayer to hold news conference after Trump signs Muslim ban. All right, Muslim ban here. Donald Trump by International Bureau. Huntington Post probably has something. It doesn't show it. Daily Caller. There's a Muslim ban. BuzzFeed News. Gosh. All right. So you got a lot of these corporate media. Why would they use Muslim ban? Because it resonates with people. Even though it has nothing to do with Muslim ban, they wanted to find a narrative that gets clickbait, that gets an argument that doesn't go into the actual policies. And here, let's switch gears for a little second. We're going to do same thing, news.google.com. and we're gonna do Trump executive order. Okay, now this is gonna give you the big list, but I want to filter this Trump executive order for news. And you don't need to put quotes around it. On the 27th, because the 27th is when he actually signed that bill, used that executive order. Look at this. See, NBC signs 2 executive orders. You don't really see Muslim ban. You don't see Muslim ban. You see strengthen refugee vetting process by town hall. Fox News, extreme vetting of refugees. New York Daily News, executive order that temporarily bars entry of. All right, you've got all these types of things. You don't really see Muslim ban that much. I kind of looked into this one because in-depth New York Times, people like saying New York Times is reliable. They vet their sources, whatever. All right, let's see. I'm doing a search.
First, I'm signing an executive action to begin
F.
a great...
So I'm going to search for source. There's like resources. So it doesn't really say source and give you a list of sources where you could look. So this one is talking about the Trump Syrian refugees. What I want to find is, well, what's the executive order that this article pertains to? Now everything's can be embedded into hyperlinks. Hyperlinks means you highlight certain keywords and they'll take you to a web page. For example, if you hover over Christian Broadcasting Network, it goes to www.cbn.com. Okay, that doesn't have anything to do with the policy, the executive order. I want to read the executive order. Give me the source to the executive order. I'm looking, and you can look to World War II topics at NewYorkTimes.com. They're linking to themselves. They're using their own selves as a source about a story, about an executive order that they won't want you to read. Let's keep looking. F-53 Joint Strike Fighter goes to topics.NewYorkTimes.com. Doesn't go to WhiteHouse.gov. This one, Air Force One, topics.NewYorkTimes.com. It's just referencing itself to its own news, which is New York Times. Okay, let's go back. Okay, let's choose, say, some people like, let's do Washington Post, right? People think Washington Post is above the corporate narrative. Okay, so Trump signs order limiting refugee entry. Says he will prioritize. Good. Let's go into this one. Let's see what they say. I'm gonna just do new tab. So new tab, Washington Post. Let's find their sources. This is by Sarah Pulliam Bailey. I don't know who that is. Sorry, I don't. Okay, so source. They don't put the sources down anymore. Wow, that's interesting. Why don't they put their sources? Now we have to go through every word, and if we want to read, go to a source, we have to click on a link. Well, there's no hyperlinks. The post has also been updated. So how do we verify the source of an article when they don't provide that source to the article or for the legislation, for the policy? I do that. I'm giving you the source. I'm not giving you a link to one of my own links talking about the policy and showing you another link to me talking about another policy and not giving you a link. I'm giving you the exact policy that was enacted, right? You can read on it. Do these corporate media want you to read on it? No, because they want to define a narrative for you. They don't want you to go looking for your own information, because when you start thinking and reading on your own, you're going to realize corporate media doesn't want to do anything else except drive a narrative for clickbait. They're going to have some news that's going to kind of dumb it down for you, kind of give other talking points, right? interview with Christian Broadcast Network, right? He has plans to help persecuted Christians, all right? That's gonna drive a lot of people nuts, even Christians. And then that drives the narrative like Christians are saying, no, we don't want a Muslim ban either. Okay, wow, Christians, yay. All right. Don't read, don't care about the corporate media talking points because they're there to drive the narrative. They're there to make money. They're there to make certain organizations, corporations, whatever, look good because they're opposing something that's like touchy-feely that isn't really a policy you can fight on. You can't argue against Muslim ban because there's no policy that's enacted a Muslim ban. If you want an actual policy that's like bans an actual group, like an ethnic group, there's the Excursion Act by President, I mentioned it before, President Chester A. Arthur, right, back in the 1800s. Now that banned all Chinese, every country. Be Chinese from China, you could be Chinese from India, you could be Chinese from France. It was banning Chinese people, right? Can't just say, pick 7 countries that has a majority population of some religion and say, hey, it's a Muslim ban. Even though it's only 12% of the total Muslim population, it's a Muslim ban. It's not. Talk to any of my Turkish friends who are Muslim. Are they banned from entry? No, they are not. Are they Muslim? Yes. So it's not a Muslim ban. Stop calling it that. It's a narrative that was created way before the actual Trump executive order. We see that here. Okay, so it's when you're just like when you're politicians, right? Politicians, you're giving them power. We used to call people politicians public servants because they're supposed to serve the public. Do you think they're serving the public now? Are a lot of their policies based on the general public? No, they're not. They are more like private servants in the public sector. A lot of policies that they're acting, a lot of legislation affects corporations for the very wealthy. Um, they, I mean, it's a good time to be rich. I'll tell you that. Good time to be wealthy because you're given a lot of benefits. If you're poor, screw you, and you're the majority now. So we don't want to do anything for you. That's basically what the public servants are saying, right? So stop arguing with each other. Stop being ignorant of what's going on. Uh, think a little bit, and I'm hoping I can help you do that. My wife is saying that I don't do a very tactful approach, and I'm gonna try to work on it. I am. I'll still yell. I'm sorry, but I'll work on it because we're all in this together. It's my duty. It's your duty. You're an adult. I'm an adult. Let's let's act like adults. Let's not act like children anymore. Don't expect your hand to be held. I will try my best to hold your hand into every little thing that I do and kind of show you and which you can do yourself and define your own narrative, right? What's your narrative? What do you want to do? Do you really want to help poor people? Do you want to help refugees? Do you want to help stop war? Do you want free college? Do you want whatever, right? What's your agenda? Is your agenda personal? Is it to just make money, to start investing? Well, it doesn't matter. Just have your own agenda. Whatever your YouTube video or whatever your Facebook, whatever you're sharing, tell people what your agenda is. If it's for money, right, then ask for money. Do I ask for money? No. I don't ask for donations. I don't say support me by this. I don't do anything to generate money off of free information to educate yourself. I will promote people that I admire. I do not want to sell out, and I won't. Maybe if they pay me $20 million a year, I might think about it. But uh, yeah, I'll think about it. But probably won't sell you out. Uh, if I could, if they really wanted me, I would probably still have my own YouTube. I'd make sure I'd stipulate that into my contract that whatever I say on my own YouTube channel is what I can personally say on my own that's not influenced. Well, as much as influence can get without, you know what I mean. Alright, so stay tuned for other videos. I got a lot more coming.